Peace. What's good, y'all? Peace to the gods and goddesses, y'all. We're super excited to tap in for our first episode of Raw Conversation.
Yes.
Tapping into a few things regarding healing and dating simultaneously, whether it should be done, or can it be done? When do it, or when should we not? Just tapping into like everything under that umbrella. So let's go ahead and tap on in. First, we can introduce ourselves. You guys know I'm Kai. I'm your host. And with me, I have Gia and Cecilia. All right.
Hey guys, hey everyone. This is going to be a super exciting conversation because I think it's really relevant. Deciding on dating while healing is a super big topic, and I think that tonight's episode is really going to be a very impactful one. Yeah.
Very.
Awesome.
Yes.
Right, so what
let's
do we
go ahead and get on into it.
Yeah. What about dating while healing? Should we do it? Should we not? What do you guys think?
I say yes. Only reason why I say that is because when you said, should we date while healing? Mind you, we are always healing. Yeah. Even when you thought you healed, all the healing, all you heal. We're still healing. Till we leave this physical body here on earth anyway, we're always doing some healing and shedding and growing. And, it's different levels of growth and healing. Some people is not wanting to heal at all. Now that type of relationships, I don't think I've been there and done that.
Yeah. I hear you.
But yeah, definitely. To answer the question, yes.
I agree. I think the same thing. I think that it's very necessary for your overall growth, because it comes to a point to where, in order for you to get to the next level, even internally, or to know yourself on a deeper level, you got to have somebody mirror you, and there's no better way to do that by having those intimate connections and having
the universe smiling at you right now, like she gets it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's definitely needed, and so those also spark awakenings within us as well, whether it's deemed as a quote unquote good thing or a bad thing, quote unquote, it's all part of evolution, and it's most definitely a major role in our evolution altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think to even ask the question, should we date while healing, suggests that there is an ending to healing, and there actually is. You're always evolving and always reinventing ourselves as well too. So there's no way to say, oh, after I'm doing all of the healing, then sir, ma'am or sir, you would have missed out on a lot, because there is no end to the healing journey. So that question, I think I pretty much understood that we would probably all be on the same page with. But when it comes to, I guess, how do you balance the journey of personal healing with the desire for a relationship in the dating realm? Like, how important, I guess, should it be? And how do you balance having the desires to have relationship and also being on this spiritual journey? Because it's a lot, a lot. So how would you guys, I guess, what advice would you give about balancing that?
Well, if you want me to start, I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. I believe that as long as you and your partner are doing the self inner work and not depending on the other partner to fill a void and do the work for you, and you're doing the eternalizing yourself, and you're holding yourself accountable, then it's going to be a harmonious relationship. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but it will be harmonious, meaning you will have a disagreement, because everybody is not meant to think alike. be like in any shape or way, form, or all unique, like a blueprint, like our fingerprint. So it's just having a deeper and understanding. That's why I said date in your frequency bracket, date on your vibration. Well, that's going to be regardless. But some of
Yeah.
us tend to, as an empath, I've in the past, not to bring up the past, but it's to highlight to some people that may not know. As an empath, sometimes you may want to find someone has wounded and try to fix them. And that itself is something that you have to heal within.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
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 So you don't do that.
You said something kind of interesting. Date within your vibration or whatever.
Bracket, like your bracket, your
If you are attracting certain people, you don't attract what you are anyway. You only attract what you are anyway.
Yeah. Ultimately, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Some
it's like
people are attracted to something that they want to obtain, though, and they're not trying to do that, obtain it within themselves. They have all this list of things that they want in someone else, whether it's money, whether it's looks, whether it's whatever it is, right? But they're not willing to do those things internally. That's why I say it goes first with you internally. How is your finances looking? How is your goals looking? How is your health looking? So you have to take care of yourself, and you have to have those qualities within yourself to even obtain that. It's saying most people want something that they want
They
one
don't have.
too. And
No,
you
yeah,
have
and I
to be
agree.
like, okay.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, you don't want to pull from someone else's energy. You don't want to date out of, to fill a void. So you have to be in a space where you're solid, how you have a certain understanding of yourself and your own healing process and what you need to work on and those things so that you can balance those things out within your connection.
Absolutely.
I mean, so I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with it. I think that yeah, go ahead, to be like, oh, you got to be already like balanced within your, this is what we're talking about, right? We're talking about whether or not we should enter relationships still healing. So can we even say that then? Can we say you need to already be anything if we're saying you're always on a healing journey?
I think that you should be at a certain point within yourself. That we can say. You don't want to get into and when we're talking about, I guess it just depends on the way you view it. Because if we're talking about getting in a relationship while you're still healing, that means that you're actively doing the work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you took that time to isolate yourself? Have you took that time to self-love? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, you want to get to the point where you're not looking for the void, and that's what I was getting to. Is that you have to be able to provide yourself with what you need first, and not because then if we're looking for someone else to fill that void, then we're pulling at their energy.
Absolutely.
Right? That's just gonna throw everything out of balance. So if you're still healing, you're actively doing the work. You know what I'm saying? It's not linear, right? I mean, the healing is not linear. It's a process. It's an everyday, it's a lifestyle. Just because you're healed from a certain aspect of or certain things that you've done in your life doesn't mean that you're going to get triggered or things that might not, bother you a little bit from time to time. You just feel it much better than you would back in the day. It doesn't have a control over you and your emotions to where you go back into that animalistic nature and you lose control because you're triggered. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I definitely agree.
Definitely agree. Because you handle situations different. I won't say better, but different.
Yeah,
that's true.
Absolutely.
I'm not who I was 10 years ago, and I'm definitely not who I was yet. I'm evolving every day. I look back at myself just 3 months ago, like, who's that?
Yeah.
But when you're with your partner, I have a lovely partner, you change and you grow with each other. And not all relationships, I have to put that, Not all relationships are meant to be forever.
Facts.
There's relationships meant to come in for a certain amount of time, for a certain, I wanted to say lessons were experienced, and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, and having that level, a certain level of detachment is for one, like you said, that's something that you'll learn along the way, along the healing journey is the art of detachment. It's huge because we get so attached to other people trying to fill that void, right? That we keep them longer than they're supposed to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Hold ourselves back from what's meant for us. And then we don't learn the lesson. Right. And then we gotta repeat it again.
That's how you have people who are dating the exact same person every single time. Something wasn't learned. It has to keep coming
Different
back.
body, same energy. Like what?
Yep.
Been there. Like, what the fuck is going on? The same currencies.
Yeah, and then you start spiraling, and you're like, I've been here before, I know this, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, well, we gotta look at that and be like, okay, what can I learn from this? What am I missing? What am I doing? And taking back your power too, because we be putting that on everyone else when in reality we have the power to say yes or no.
Yeah.
We have the power to deal with and not deal with places.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And we also got to understand too, is like when you get to that epiphany of like, oh, I should probably let this person go, it's an opportunity for you to look at things in a higher perspective and to set those boundaries and to stand on business when it comes to yourself.
Yes.
We don't, we got to repeat the cycle. We'll repeat it until you get tired enough to say, all right, I must get on business.
Like I ain't doing that. Nope. Oh yeah. Remember when
I've seen this before, and that's when the cycle's ended.
Right.
And then you can evolve to the next situation. But those people who
you know
what I'm saying? But we have to talk about if you're still healing, you shouldn't be in a relationship. You couldn't be in a connection. I'm gonna say you need to follow your intuition and what your heart says, because there's people that you're gonna feel connected to, that you're supposed to experience.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe it's not for a lifetime; it's just in the time being. But that person is to teach you something.
Even the toxic relationships were meant to.
Toxic relationships.
But nothing happens by chance, and everything is for a purpose, for a lesson, for a reason, for level up, for some deeper understanding, for something. Nothing is for no reason.
Right.
But we're talking about dating. You guys, I think, are more talking about relationships, which is different from dating, the dating process,
Well, the way that people date now is kind of like a relationship.
I know, right?
I don't know. You tell me.
You old school like I am. No, dating and relationships is all in one right now.
Oh my, that's terrible. Lord.
You got Netflix and chill, and then you have dating.
No, I don't do none of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to know nothing.
Did I just say that? Yeah.
Well,
No, wait. I take that back. You have sneaky links, link, whatever you call it. Then you have the Netflix and chill. That's the level up. And then you have dating.
No. No.
Because when you do the Netflix and chill, they might take you to Walmart. But if you sneaky link, they take you to Walmart.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Walmart. Look,
I know, silly.
Don't get impressed by Walmart.
Make it Walmart.
But it'll teach you something. The more Walmart you go to with these different men or women, the more you look.
They might be open up 24 hours now.
Oh my. Oh, okay. Lordy. Lord. In the dating process, whichever way you land on it, whether it's a sneaky whatever, whatever. So you chilling with the Netflix. How do you handle potential triggers that may come up during the dating process, quote unquote dating process? That's about relationships. This is the beginning stages of the things, right? Whether there's several, obviously there's more beginning stages than I knew about, But there's still, you
Right.
know, when you
Because there's
fall
not
into
a lot of triggers in the beginning because everybody is not
Everybody's on
everybody.
their best
But so most
behavior.
people are wearing a facade, they're wearing a mask. They're
They
not showing
are.
their true selves. They got the nice, quiet, faint voice. And,
yeah.
especially with a lot of people that I've seen out there, I could just read people and they be like, some namaste. And as soon as you do something they dislike, or you say no, whatever, then it's like rah, rah, rah. You're like, what happened to the little sweet, quaint, calm, namaste.
And then in that sense, you can even say the first impression is everything. Because everybody's on their best behavior. Time reveals all.
Yep.
So you really we gotta let go of the first impression because that's what everybody holds on to. And that's why you get stuck in the connections you're in.
Boom.
What is the reality? Yes, girl,
The
speak it.
reality. Take off the rose tinted glasses.
Take off the mask.
Exactly.
Mask on.
You know what I'm saying? We allow our emotions to control our logic and reasoning. Our emotions, you know what I'm saying? And so when we get into these connections, we get excited. We're like thinking about the future and painting all these pictures of something that I mean, it's cool to an extent, you know what I'm saying? But we become obsessed.
Right.
We mistake those excitements and that feeling, that adrenaline as love.
Mm-hmm.
And we paint these pictures of somebody that's really unfair because they might not want that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Not even that. A lot of the times, that's only putting it on. We have to think. We're talking about relationships with men, right? And they will also tell you things. They will tell you what you want to hear and paint those pictures too, even if they're not true. So you have what we already do naturally, because we as women already do the potential, and we look at all these things, and oh my God, and oh, it's gonna, and then you have what you also. So you have to have discernment, because it's not just
both parties should have it. Because I've seen women do it too.
Exactly.
It goes on both sides.
Yeah. But it's just like,
but I know what you're talking about.
Where's the action behind it? What are you proving to me? What are you showing me? That's where we get caught up in the fantasy, to where we're so high, we're not focused on anything that's taking place in the third dimension.
Yeah, what's actually
so all of that, so we're skipping the red flags because of what somebody is saying and not what they're actually doing or providing you. You know what I'm saying? So we be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, we give so many chances, so many excuses. And I'm not talking about just men or just women. This is just in general for those people that are doing that. But we allow words with no action to be enough.
Can I tune in on that? I seen a article, like a meme, right? That it was cute. And it said, I don't know quote for quote, word for word, but it was something to the point where it says, sis, or, they're talking about this, the general collective. It was like, you heal so much that your phone is dry and you're going to bed at 9:00. And I was like, I can relate to that. Because before this relationship, I took that time for myself, a lot of it. And I was fine with that. I was very content, happy, flowing in my own energy. And usually that's when the universe will give you that one. When you're not caring about a relationship anymore, you're good, right? Yeah. So I did the dating thing. I went to Starbucks to meet a guy that I met locally. And I automatically knew this upon like our first mid conversation sitting there in Starbucks. I was like, not feeling the energy. And then the way he was talking, he was real, got wisdom, whatever, got to talk, good looks, all right, nice car, all that. Look at all the aesthetics, but he went to go grab my ass. And I was like, hell to the no.
You
would never see me again. But he knew it. He knew that. Because you don't tolerate much when you come to that level of healing. When you doing the work. Yeah, you're not gonna tolerate shit.
No, because you're no longer.
Got one time to show me who you are, and I'm like, okay, no, I've been down that road. The same energy, no. And the universe tested me right then and there. It was like, I feel like the universe is smiling, like, okay, she didn't give it a second try. She didn't entertain that.
Yeah.
So you won't tolerate a lot.
You won't, because you're now out of a place to where, because again, like I was saying before, the flirting, the sweet nothings are very much something. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
it's just like, but all those experiences with the wrong people and the wrong situations all help us understand why we shouldn't, what it leads to, and it helps us, within our next connection. You know what I'm saying? And just also like it just helps us to build more respect and boundaries with ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So speak, especially like in the spiritual community. I've heard a few people talk about like, oh, certain spiritual women, they're always dating, or men, and you see them in and out of these relationships. But I promise you, a lot of the times, those are not a lot of the times, but there's, but a lot of, in time, sometimes those people are learning from every experience and are only getting wiser, only getting stronger. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
have no regrets.
you've
Yeah.
right?
Those differences, a lot of people do it in front of the world.
Yeah.
And some people are not,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're in the limelight, like myself.
Yeah.
But I noticed one thing about a one relationship that I knew that was not going anywhere. And I still had a little piece of me to try to make it work and make it fit. And I knew it wasn't because I was in front of the world.
Yeah.
And I went to my spiritual advisor. And she told me this exact words. I mean, I already knew she was going to give me the reading. I already knew. She's like,
Yeah.
that's what she said to you. Your spirit guides, your ancestors, you already know. The strength card came out. She looked at me and she was like, what would you tell your clients to do in a situation like this?
Mm.
I looked down, took that little breather. I knew then I had to live up to what I would, tell someone else to do in that situation. If I'm giving a reading to a young lady, a goddess, and she was going through that. So that the
Yeah.
strength part, I had to pull my boots up by the shoestring, tie them up, tie the hitch up, and walk. I had to do what's
Yeah.
best for me. No matter what, people on the outside looking in the saying or whatever. None of that matters. What matters is what I do from this point on, the decisions I make for
Yeah.
myself and for other people involved as well.
Yeah.
So
And
I did one of the hardest things, still learn that attachment at that time. And yeah, I learned that lesson. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's big on it. Mhm.
Well, I think we pretty much said it, but like the importance of self-love while you're in a dating situation
Yeah.
and on your healing journey, it's super important. It's like that understanding of your self-worth, is like the difference between you learning lessons and you repeating the same lessons over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I think that most people, it takes them some time. Sometimes, I don't know. I think that a lot of people, it takes them some time before they realize the pattern and be like,
You're right.
we're done with this or and okay, and have the strength and courage. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if it was me, I don't know what kind of relationship it was, but if it was a deep relationship that you wanted to hold on to and to see that card, I don't know if I would have the strength. That takes courage. It takes a lot of courage to be like, I
Look,
can't,
I was engaged. Announced
and
the engagement this Friday, like in 30 days.
right.
Oh,
Oh, Lord.
I laugh at it now. It's funny. I
But,
don't get
it's
I don't
strength.
get better. I get better.
absolutely.
You listen to that
Absolutely.
other
I think
person. I
that
wish them well. I wish them their next experience the best experience.
yes,
So,
absolutely. And I
It
think
takes,
that's a beautiful saying.
yeah,
You don't get bitter, you get better.
better.
It's
blue,
you
yeah,
have to. That's when I think when you get to a certain level of awareness, you just realize what it is, and you're like, I had to learn that, I had to experience that, I had to go through that, and you no longer be mad at that person because obviously you would like, especially the relationships that we were in for a while, that took us long to walk away from.
yeah,
Those are our biggest relationships that cause the most transformation, right? And we were in that energy at one point, right? And so we can only stay blessed and be like, hey, I thank you for that experience. Now it's time for me to evolve. You can, and we all have the opportunity. We all have that choice. It just depends on,
Absolutely.
it just depends on
Absolutely.
whether we want to do that or not.
yeah.
Let me turn this lamp on. Yeah. And how do you know, to get a little bit deeper, how do you know, like, well, I do know, but how do you know you didn't sign up for that prior to, coming to this realm?
And
You
that's the
signed
thing.
that contract with that person to meet at that particular time in that moment
Yeah.
for that
Oh,
experience to grow on a soul level, to learn something
absolutely.
from your past and to evolve so you don't have to come back and do that lesson again.
Oh,
Hmm.
A lot of
And
people don't understand that either.
oh yeah, and that's even better when you do. I mean, for myself, I didn't realize until like for instance with my previous relationship, um, I knew when I was done, I was like, oh, this contract is over because you feel a sense of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
There's this like level of detachment that I mean, at least I felt. I've only had two like real life like relationships. I'm like, well, I'm very picky, but you know what I'm saying. But those,
Don't really.
so I can never let just anybody into my energy. That's just how I've always been, you know. But I knew. I mean, I was in that connection for like 10 years, So it was. But when that contract ended, I knew because I grew spiritually within that connection.
Yeah.
I transformed the most within that experience, the trials, the tribulation, the abuse, all of that like paved the way to who I am today.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like but when you get to that point, but I mean that was for me though. Like I said, I was able to be in that connection still to a degree, and also be ascending at the same time. So I watched myself go from being young and crazy to tapping into my abilities on ascension, working on my chakras, eating better, you know what I'm saying? All of those types of things.
Yeah.
So when that contract was finished, I felt it in my energy. There was no hesitation. I knew, okay, it's time.
Yeah.
And I
I
knew I
felt that
learned,
to the core.
you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
felt that to the core. Yeah, my 10-year marriage, that's how it was for me. I knew this is
Oh,
it. And it took everything in my being to leave that alone because of a contract on top of a contract and
Hmm.
3 children, with him. So
Yeah, because before that
I
contract
elevated
was,
since then too. So
yeah, because
yeah.
it makes it hard. Like sometimes I realized I wasn't supposed to walk away when I wanted to. But I wasn't ready to either. But it can go. It just depends, on your
hmm
own soul journey. For myself, I knew I when I finally released myself from that connection, I knew there was no way I was gonna walk away from that just yet. You know what I'm saying?
wow.
So when I did, I knew without a doubt, I was like, okay, this is no, I'm just kidding. But it was
You're having a party, right?
not entirely, but
I know what you mean, but
it
yeah,
was a
celebrate
celebration.
yourself, yes.
Hmm.
It's interesting. Like all three of us have around the same mark, 10 year. Mine was 9, not quite 10. So I
Okay.
feel those memories. That's so interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's some kind of experience. When you kind of know when it's done. You know when it's like can't continue anymore, and
Right.
you make the choice that you have to make for yourself. It's hard, especially like you said when you have children or whatever. Or, you know, it's a contract on top of a contract. I think the thing that makes it difficult, I think, for people to really wrap their mind around the fact that you chose this is when you deal with those harsher realities, those
Mhm.
abusive realities. And it's like, why would you choose something like that?
Mhm.
But I know for me personally, I grew up in an abusive home, so watching all of that, there's a lot that I have learned and had to overcome. And it also, as a child of that, right, you kind of, you're more likely to repeat these things because that's what you know. So you get the opportunity to break whatever cycle that's going on ancestrally, which is beneficial and empowering when you finally be like, enough is enough. You know what I mean? When you finally like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah,
And you're not saying done just for you, you're saying done for your whole freaking lineage. This is kind of awesome.
absolutely.
And that self-love is definitely important, you know, to get to that point, I think.
You know, I
Katrina.
think that we don't realize how hard it is to break a generational curse as well, because it's been in our family, in our lives, from generation after generation, and to have that one person be like, you know what, this is it. You know, because prior to that, this is all we knew.
Mm.
How do I see anything different when this is all I've been shown? You know, and I think
Mm.
that as you're healing and you're evolving and you begin to change those, or you begin to break those cycles, um, relationships do become a lot more different. You know what I'm
Most
saying?
Yeah.
And they
most
become a place of transformation and evolution. See where you're at on your own journey. See where you're at with yourself. How are your boundaries right now? How much do you love yourself right now? You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to like be in tune with your own energy, not around a whole bunch of people. When you're not in a relationship, when you don't have to worry about other people, it's easier. So when you get into these connections, it's challenging, but those challenges are meant to bring aspects of yourself out that are typically suppressed, because you don't have to reveal those things to yourself on a daily basis if you're alone. You know what I mean?
right.
You just have to be we got to be open. Can you date and heal at the same time? Absolutely. It's necessary.
Yeah. Some people try to run from relationships because they don't want to do that. They don't want to
Exactly.
be triggered. They don't want that
That's right.
deeper healing. It's okay. It's easy to do it by yourself. The
Hmm.
real challenge, not even a challenge, but the real test is to do the same when you're in a relationship and still maintaining your own energy, still maintaining your work on yourself and doing it with someone else and
Yes.
balancing that dynamic, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
Like my partner makes me look at myself in ways that I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I still do that, and same vice versa. But
Yeah.
we have a communication. We talk to it. We're not sitting here arguing, bickering, yelling, calling each other out the name. I've been there, done all of that.
Right.
We sit down and have communication. We have that understanding between ourselves. And if we have to take that moment where we're not ready to talk, then we do that too. We self reflect and we come back like, okay, well, I see where I did that or whatever, or vice versa. And yeah, work through it.
And that's how you get the most out of your connection. If you have two people or a
Absolutely.
group of people that are able to self reflect and speak from the heart and from truth, authenticity, you know, there is no bounds to how far you can evolve, how much you can evolve, and how much you can grow in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like we said, when you're conscious of yourself and your own healing process or your journey and just in general, you know, it could be challenging to have those relationships if we're not, if we're not open to it,
Right.
to evolving, right? But as you know, we're on this journey and we know how it goes, it makes it a lot easier for us to heal and be in a relationship or date at the same time, I should say.
Absolutely.
But even in the beginning, right, we should see where people are at mentally. How self-aware are you?
Mm.
How far,
That part.
how deep have you gone within yourself?
That part.
Do you know where you want to be internally? Because we can talk about goals externally from this, your financial goals, where you want to bring your family, all of these kind of things, right? But do you have an internal goal?
Mm.
You want to feel within your own being. Where do you see yourself internally? You know what I'm saying? And if you're dealing with somebody who isn't as self-aware as you, or isn't even willing to put themselves out there to become more aware of self, that we shouldn't deal with that person, because we're not here to save anybody. We're only here to inspire.
That part. That. Because
That's
when you're doing that work and you're, not just necessarily work, but you're living your truth and you're growing and you're manifesting and you're saying these affirmations and you're mindful. It's all about mindfulness,
Hmm.
and everything. That's what spiritual is for me. Then the other person's either going to align with that fall in line naturally without you forcing anything or whatever, because everybody's at their own level. So,
Yeah.
meet with them where you're at, you stay where you're at, and they meet you where you are.
Yeah.
Or B, they're going to fall away naturally, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
But they either, going to elevate and ascend with you, or they're not.
And that's another thing about knowing who you are and knowing yourself and just being comfortable without having to, force anything.
Yeah.
Because if you try to force anything and hold on to anything, you'll never know what's for you and what's not.
That's why I said that, because there's someone in the audience that had this question in mind. I'm with this person. I see he's a gentleman. I'm with this woman that is not on the same level I am spiritually. They may be still in religion, and the other person is not. One person is vegan, the other person is not. The other person is, I'm gonna say forcing, but there's a level of understanding, and you cannot force anything upon anybody. But if the love is there, the mutual understanding is there, respect is there, whatever agreements that you'll have is that loyalty is there, and that person is not there spiritually, that's okay. That's why I said do your own thing. Be
Yeah.
on your path. And the woman that he's with, or whoever this is for, right? They're gonna grow with you, because they're gonna
Yeah.
see how you're growing, how you're elevating, how things are flowing in line for you, how you handle the test, how you handle the contrast, how you flow through the contrast with more ease. And if that is for them, then they're gonna want to elevate naturally, because they see that in you as evidence. You're just walking, living proof
Absolutely.
of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then as you're in your own energy, they're either, like you said, they're either gonna step up or they're gonna step down. And
Right.
whatever they do is a win. It's a win. You know what I'm saying? Because if they fall off, that means that person wasn't meant for you. They're not gonna waste your time.
Right. And then they
Right?
might have that aha epiphany moment down the road. Like, I remember when this person said this to me and did that. And yeah. So everything is, like I said, nothing is wasted. Like you said
Absolutely.
earlier, you said all experiences happen for a reason.
Mhm.
So nothing is
There's
wasted.
never a loss. No such thing as losses, only lessons. And no experience is experienced in vain as long as we learn the lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm. Definitely agree. I have another question for you guys, if you don't mind.
No.
How do you differentiate between healthy compromise in a relationship and compromising your own healing process for the sake of the relationship?
Boom, you're gonna feel it. Your inner being is gonna feel it first. It's gonna feel off. Things are gonna fall off in your life. Because how you do on the feel on the inside and how you reflect on the inside is gonna happen on the outside world. So your inner being is your guide. So if you're doing something that goes against that inner being, meaning your higher self, whatever you want to call that, higher self,
Yep.
Yeah.
so um that's when it comes to compromise. Yeah, you're gonna know, and it's not gonna feel good. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. You're gonna have no choice but to eventually face it because
Right.
spirit's gonna show you. And spirit shows us all the time. It just depends on how aware you are of yourself and your guides and this, that, and the third. And even if you're unaware, there's still signs and synchronicities that you're gonna get within to tell you that this is going against your moral compass or your spiritual compass.
Yeah.
Um, so I definitely agree with you saying that. I think that's kind of the best way to put it. Is just like we have to be aware. We have to be discerning.
Right. And it's healthy compromise. So if it's something that is to help you, right, and that I won't call it a compromise. I don't know what name I'm gonna give it, but come to that mutual understanding of something that's helpful for you, then you're also going to feel that too. The opposite.
Yeah.
You feel like, okay, I knew I need to do this. It's just a
Yeah,
confirmation.
because it's gonna resonate. It's gonna resonate if you know that there's something that you should like compromise on or like reevaluate or look at from a different perspective other than being defensive.
Right.
It's gonna resonate with you. You're like, you know what, that's true. Whether you decide to get defensive or not is entirely up to you.
I used to
You
do
know what
that.
I'm saying?
Cancer.
Me too.
Right. Like, oh well, that person, right?
Yeah, because I remember you couldn't tell me nothing. I'm like, yeah, please.
Listen,
I'm like, man,
listen.
I look back and I'm like, ooh, I wasn't always a pretty person.
Rough out
You
here.
know, it's the
Listen.
truth.
Right.
You
Mhm.
Yeah.
know, and so I mean, we gotta we gotta just be accountable, and be aware enough of self to know what you need to work on. Because some folks will gaslight the hell out of you because they don't have that awareness of self to that extent to where they really don't feel like they're doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people gaslight you unintentionally,
Or they know and they still do it anyway.
or they know and they do it anyway. But what we're saying is basically is just like you have to have that certain level of or a certain degree of awareness of self to know to be able to accept those things and for those things to resonate. And if we're talking about dating while healing, and while we're saying while healing, you're actively doing the inner work, and you come to a point to where someone brings something to your attention that you need to work on, or whatever the case may be, or that they don't like, you're in a space of acceptance and you're receptive to whatever they have to say,
Mhm.
and you take it as it resonates,
Right, right.
you know.
I've seen so many different type of dynamics in relationships that even I haven't been in. Not to judge, but I wanted to bring this up as well because as an intuitive, I'm always picking up energy. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if it's because the crystals that I have on, but I'm picking up somebody's energy right now, and I see another couple, right? That are in the dating, but they've been dating a while, so I guess it's not a date, it's a relationship. As Jay was saying, it's a relationship. But one person is sick and the other person is wanting wellness. And what I meant by sickness is only because they have a illness physically, because they have an illness spiritually. It always starts in the spirit,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So this person used that handicap, this sickness, as a tool to get attention, as a tool to manipulate, as a tool to keep that person. And the other person that's wanting to get well, the other person's trying to hold on to that person, don't want them to get well, so they want them to do the opposite, if that makes any sense. I don't know who that is for, but Spirit is basically saying you're on the right path to getting well, but sometimes you have to let go of certain people and not feel guilt.
Like we're not here to save nobody. You can only inspire. Where we can't save everybody, and we do have to get to because there are people out there who do that every day, right? Like, I mean, obviously, but we gotta just again be discerning, because some people will drain the life force energy out of you while you're trying to help, and there's some people whose karma is for you to leave them while they're exactly where they are. And so it's just like if you're in a situation and you know that this person is using you, you obviously you're unappreciated and this, that, and the third, you gotta love yourself. Period. You can't be so sacrificial to the point to where you start losing who you are for somebody else. The moment that you feel like you are being drained of your essence and you're forgetting who you are, you're pouring more into another person than you are to yourself, you have to reevaluate the situation, because we have people who are out here who truly do appreciate those that are there for them, and every situation is different. We can go on and on about but we're talking about someone who's using you intentionally and doesn't care whether you're, what I'm saying, just
not even trying to get better for themselves at
using
all.
it as a
They're
crutch.
using that as a crutch, right?
You know what I'm saying? At that point, it's just like that's where we just have to do a lot of healing, because when you dive into your own shadow, you see the shadows of other people. It's so much easier to spot out like, oh, I know that because I know myself. It opens a door to bullshit.
I like how you said it. Sort to.
You know.
Oh, BS detector. I love it. Mhm. Yeah.
Well,
No,
my
you
grandma used to say, I'm okay with stepping in some shit, but I'm not okay with stepping in the same shit.
That
That's so
part.
true. You can step in a different, experience, like you said, Tess.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's something to look down on, but don't keep stepping in the same.
That's right. Because doing the same thing and expecting a different result is insanity, as we all know.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't like to be called. No, I'm saying, but it's just like I'm about to be called crazy. Like, hey, I'm gonna learn my lesson. At this point in my life, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take that L.
Right.
I'm gonna evolve. You know what I'm saying? Because the only person that can truly slow you down is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We can blame everybody else for what they did and didn't do for you. How they treated you, this, that, and the third. Oh, I was with that person for 10 years and this, that, and the third. Well, keep it power. And
Right.
realize like you were there too. You were there with, like, the key word is you were there for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But you could have walked away and you didn't. So that means that you have to self-reflect. Don't sit there like this person did this, that, and the third. Well, why did you stay?
I did it. You know how many times I packed my car up? The unpacked.
I myself like, bro, what is wrong with you? Like, damn, it took you long
Now I
enough.
gotta take all this shit back in.
Cheers to myself when I finally.
Cheers to the old girl, right? Hold on, cheers to myself. Sip my tea.
Okay.
It's coconut milk, guys.
Right.
Not Malibu.
Woo. We throw some sage spray on myself.
Hallelujah.
I had to dive in it the past for a minute. I don't like talking about it, but I just wanted to bring examples. Moving forward.
But I mean, I think that's what's needed too, is accountability. There is no evolution. There is no ascension. There is no you getting to the next level of anything if you're not going to hold yourself accountable internally. You know what I'm saying? We have to have that accountability. So, people don't like to hear that. That's why people don't call me now. Just kidding. But I'm just like,
they don't want to hear that shit. They want to be cuddled.
Because that's the way I do with myself. But I mean, there has to be an even balance. But I'm just like, what can I do
when
to
the
take
person
accountability?
wants to vent and let it out? Because we all do. But then we have to look back on that. Now we love vent, right? The ego. Now we have to look at it on a higher level, right? And see where you fucked up.
No, for real.
This person and this person and that person.
Yeah, and I feel so much better doing it that way too.
Right.
I don't, I got to the point where I don't know if it's like my ego or if it's like whatever, but I'm just at a point where I'm like, I'm not gonna give you no power. Like, if I let you screw me over and I let you lie to me and I knew that you was lying, that's my fault.
Right.
If I stayed longer than I needed to, or I could entertain this friendship longer than I needed to, whatever the case may be, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Because life is about
no victimhood over here.
Myself.
It is about choices. If you make a choice, you have to be able to take the repercussions of that choice and be okay with
right.
that choice.
It's your big girl panties on.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't even get mad anymore. I don't even get mad to a degree because I'm realizing to a degree, dog. I'm not an emotionalist robot, but
for real.
You get to the point to where you're like, you know what, everything is a lesson, and I'm gonna take it because obviously I needed to experience that. So instead of being like, oh well, this person shoulda, coulda, woulda, no, well, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, and coulda too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, for real.
Legit.
And I think that's like, a big thing because you want to be like, I feel like I thrive in being vulnerable and being real, being authentic, right? We all do.
Right.
And I realized like the only way I'm going to evolve or even expand my consciousness when it comes to myself, if I'm that way with myself. If I'm continuously analyzing and this, that, and the third, doesn't mean I don't have any compassion towards myself. Again, there's a balance to all things, and that's a whole nother conversation. But
Right.
it's just like you have to get to the point that you're so aware of yourself that those things don't bother you. You just take things as they come, and you also allow things to go when it no longer serves you. Because we be going through all of these things, and we hold ourselves like we'll hold ourselves accountable, right? But not in a compassionate way, not in a loving way. We guilt trip ourselves. We like freaking beat ourselves up. You know what I'm saying? And then we create the whole the emotional turmoil all over again and over and over and over.
Right. Right.
So we just gotta get to the point where we're aware. And as long as you're in an area like have space within yourself to where you're aware and you're open to becoming more aware of yourself, I think that dating is highly beneficial because it's going to show you aspects of yourself you might not be able to look at in the mirror and find.
I agree.
I
Most definitely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
What did you say? I thought you said something.
No.
Okay. Let me think. So, okay, we know that we have to, have self-love. We have to be able to have discernment when we're talking about entering the dating world, right? While healing, have discernment, have self-love, self-awareness. What about, um, I guess, how do I put this? Being able to not analyze, read the energies. Who do you allow? How do you know who to date? Do you just go by attraction? Do you feel the person's energy? We're talking about somebody who's on a spiritual journey, right, towards healing. How does that work? I guess
Energy.
That's
It's always going to be energy. We're talking spiritual. It's always going to be energy because you're going to know who you need to gravitate towards and who you need to gravitate away from. You know what I'm saying? Again, like she was saying earlier, like
people's energy. Yeah.
Just like this is the thing. It's like we also have to be open. If you feel guided towards someone, experience it. That's the easiest way, other than trying to figure it all out. One. Why is this person in my life? I mean, I'd be doing readings, but
Right.
I mean, but still, it's just like if you feel that pull towards someone, experience it. But to me, it's always energy, and I know, like, because I feel like if you're like talking to somebody, and your energy gets irritated when they message you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you shouldn't either be dating yet, or this person.
That's a sign.
There's so many.
She was talking about like she's intuitive or empaths have this trouble of we're gonna take the person who's wounded or and try to fix or whatever it so we have to when I say how do we pick or whatever, especially for those kind of things, we have to go deeper than just go,
well, how many demons do they have, and can you handle those demons? Because everybody has them. Can you handle those demons? Can your demons play with them demons nicely or not? I said that was my
But I think it's kind of like, because I feel like just reading the energy is kind of enough, because sometimes even because we're not, it's just there's a balance of being, having the experience, allowing yourself to experience certain things, as well as looking at things from a spiritual perspective. Like there's a balance that's needed.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
Because sometimes we might be like, well, you might be attracted to that person to an extent, and I mean, it's hard because
it's hard. It's complex. It's very complex.
It's not black and white. not something that you can just say, well, this, that, and the third. It's just like it goes off of like it's an individual experience,
Yeah,
and every experience
it
is going to
really
be.
is.
Yeah.
I can't give you advice on how to, pick someone because I don't know
You
your
know what you want as an individual. You
exactly
know what you want, what you desire.
at that
The
part.
universe knows what you desire. So
Exactly.
now, if you settle for something that you don't desire, then you're out of alignment, and your inner being is like, "What the fuck?" Then you're gonna go through those lessons that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Now, if you're vibing with someone, y'all clicking, you can see their shadows, they can see your shadows. Both probably in tune, right? You're reading them, they're reading you. But you're like, okay, well, I'm not gonna say I can't look past that. We're gonna work on that. I see where I can grow, see where they can grow, and grow together. Now, if the person come in and they got some demons that's just bigger than life, and you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna pet that, and I'm gonna play, and your ass gonna get bit, like a little angry chihuahua gonna bite your ass.
We'll
Then
bite your
yes, on you, So
Yeah.
it's different. It's for me personally. I wrote down. I got real specific because I've noticed when I manifest before, I've manifested things that there was a couple things, screws missing out the table, something parts wasn't there, and I try to make it work, try to profit up the best way I can. And now I was like, no, this time I'm going to put the book down and I'm going to be very specific of what I want to the details.
Yes.
I don't care if I put the amounts of hair follicles I want on their head. I'm a
No, for real. It's funny. Like,
and I manifested what I have now.
Yeah.
So
it just reminded me because my cousin, she manifested. She wanted to manifest a man with money, right? And she got him. Her man,
you don't get the man with money, but what else?
But she left out that he was going to give her money. So
oh shit!
Oh no!
I was like,
Yeah. That's terrible.
It was hilarious, but that reminded me of that. But you have to get clear on what you want. We go into these connections blinded.
Yeah.
But you are the universe, and the universe is you. So the universe is one of those things where it's not judgmental. It's not. It's neutral. It's like, okay, I give you what you want. Just like, say, for instance, come out of a relationship, and let's say if someone's manifesting, this is a better life and all. They want to get out the hood or whatever, right? But then they're focused on everything that is the opposite to what they're trying to get. So they're manifesting the opposite. They're manifesting more of what they give their time and attention to, and it's not, conducive or giving them growth. So you get what you give your attention, your time, your energy to. So that would go saying for a mate, that partner that you want to experience. And like I said, we said earlier, not all experiences meant to be forever. We just meant to, really embrace the moment now.
Yes.
And enjoy each other to the fullest now.
Absolutely. I agree, and like you were saying about, just manifesting and all that, the universe is like I was saying, like a ride or die friend. It's going to give you whatever you ask. It's going, whatever you say, oh, you want something? Like, I'm going to go get it.
Yeah, because I said I want somebody spiritual.
Okay, let me go get it.
We're all spiritual, but they played the part of spiritual, but everything else was.
What's that right? Saying? Like, demons are spiritual too.
I like this time. I want a spiritual person that's in tune and handy. I want a handy man. I want somebody to fix some shit. Pick up a hammer and do some shit. Yeah. I don't want to be in my masculine energy like that. I don't want to be putting up TVs and putting out, mailboxes with cement. I don't. Like, I literally done that. Like, while somebody's in there looking up horoscopes and astrology, and I'm like, I'm not here digging.
No, but once we figure that out, we'll be more
right. I'm studying. What?
We'll be more likely to heal once we realize that. We'll want to heal much more, like a lot faster, if we realize that, because what happens is, as the subconscious mind is active.
Mhm.
And if you have a subconscious belief that you're not worthy enough, and you have all these fears and stuff like that, you're manifesting those things. So shadow work is necessary in order for you to clear that space and reprogram that area of your mind.
Yes.
So that you can manifest what you deserve and what you desire. And you deserving something has nothing to do with what you do. It's just because you are. You
Yes,
hear.
right.
It's because you is. There's no need for you to not feel like, what I'm saying? Besides, I know that we go through stuff and whatever, which makes us feel like we're unworthy of. But if we just keep that simple as saying, I'm deserving and I'm worthy just because I am.
Right.
Without tying anything to it, it creates a space to where to attract what is for you or what you can have.
Yeah.
There's things that you can have whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? Truthfully, because the Most High didn't put us down here to be struggling and scraping for change and all this types of stuff. It's our mentality that creates this reality, right? So we have to change the way that we think in our mental in order for us to attract a higher quality of people and experiences.
Even friendship.
Even friendship.
Business partners, whatever, clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Because they could be shady too.
Yeah. So when you elevate and your mind is, like you're attracting, high value clients and stuff, then your whole reality will change. So
yeah,
you have to. I love that word of being worthy. Just knowing that you are worthy. And I try. Well, I tried my best as a healer to help a lot of my clients find that worthiness, because I'm like, a lot of stuff that people go through is just because they feel that they're not worthy. And you can convince somebody all day, you can talk to them, you can inspire them, even motivate them, but they got to really want it. So I'm just patient and spirit, like, you gotta give them some time. They're gonna get it. They may not listen to you now. They'll get it. Then they'll come back and ready to do the work, the healing work. So I'm like, I'm not doing no love spells to keep nobody, this and that. No, let's work on you. But the line is real short for that self-love and that healing than it will be to do a love spell, binding spell. The line is much longer.
But for real, like, it's just like, it's a shortcut to it either. You know what I'm saying? You really just got to be fed up with not feeling worthy.
Period.
And that's why I say, we have these experiences in order for, like, the divine gives us these experiences, to push us to where we need to be.
Yeah.
And I was thinking earlier, like I seen someone post, your past doesn't define you, right? And it doesn't, right? But it sure paves the way to who you're supposed to be.
Right.
So we can't hate our experiences and feel guilty and ashamed of those things that we've experienced or allowed to happen to us, or or whatever the case may have been. Those things that you experience are a vital. It plays a vital role in who you're being created or who you are being molded to become. It's like, you have to get to the point of like, hey, I don't give a dang if you were a hostro in Oakland, selling some.
Right.
Hey, but if you took that energy and you are a motivational speaker now, you're helping women off the street and all of those things, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta really look at the big
Nah, for real. You're helping somebody else in that same situation. That's why that's why God will put you in certain situations and experiences, so you can help the next person that is struggling in the same experience as you are.
Yeah. You can't really help others. You can, but you can't. There's something about the experience yourself, understanding who the person was yourself, that really, really helps, really push other people into the other side, especially if they can see you as the example of someone who's made it to the other side of whatever the thing is.
Absolutely. That's why I'm so, like, when I talk to people, I'm very open with what I've experienced.
Yeah.
Why? Because I know that else is probably going through or have been through what I went through too. And if I can get through it, so can you. Like I said, we're not here to save anybody. We're here to inspire other people to get out the mud. You know what I'm saying? So if you have, so there's people like certain people have to go through the same experiences, because and we all experience those things differently, right? But we have to have those things because your journey is going to help someone else later. It's going to inspire someone else to think differently. It's going to shift somebody else's perspective that needs to hear your story. You know what I'm saying? The person that needs to hear your story, it'll shift their perspective. Put it like that. Like, so it's like we can't be ashamed of what we went through. We can't like be guilty of the decisions that we made or the things that we've experienced. So same things are huge motivators.
Yeah.
To heal and to evolve and to expand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We have actually a comment from someone on Facebook. Lafayette says, what a lot of people don't understand about manifesting is balance. For whatever you manifest, the universe will require something as great in return. Like they say, be careful what you ask for.
Yeah. It reminds me of Cat Williams.
Yeah.
When he went on that last interview on the Shade Room or whatever.
Lord.
And he said, you know, I watch what I look at, what I see, because I know that whatever I see or whatever I want, I can.
That's pretty it. That's it.
That's it.
It's like I know I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. It's a matter of time. What I want. Why do I want it? The universe knows why I want it. Intentions is good to help other people, to help me expand, so my children don't ever have to struggle, go through what I went through. For me to have my garden and expand on that garden, to grow fruits and vegetables and herbs freely. You know, you have to have money to travel. I want to travel the world. I want to see the world. I want to travel to different people and meet, you know, people that I'm connected to on Facebook and yeah. But you have to know that you can have it. You're worthy.
Because if you don't feel like you're worthy, right? You can get what you're going to get what you're trying to manifest, but it's not going to be in the quality in which you should, you know, you're going to get the quality of what you feel worthy of.
Absolutely. And it's going to slip through your fingers too. You're going to feel like you're not worthy, so you're not going to hold on to it.
Yeah. You know, and some people manifest the right or the right career or the right situation, but they touch it like you said because they don't feel like they're worthy of it. You know, like what in the Bible it talks about. What was it on the boat? Who was it? Was it damn, I can't believe I forgot. But the man on the boat. Or was it he was like it was the story of the guy asking God for help. And like I sent you a boat, I sent you a boat, and I sent you
in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's a story.
It was like
yeah, it's true. He's sitting there waiting on the Lord. I done sent you everything. I got what you want. You literally want me to come down and you know? Yeah. It's true.
you know,
definitely got to be mindful. You know, when you're manifesting, not even just when you're manifesting, you got to be mindful when you're talking about you want something to really be, like you said, specific. You know, you said you wrote it down exactly what it is. Be specific, and really, I guess, assess yourself to see if you are even in alignment with that thing, or even anywhere close in alignment of that thing,
right?
As well. That has to be a thing.
I know
me personally, I don't like. I know this is a struggle. I just told Kai about this the other day. I hate being in a bad space because I feel like I'm manifesting bad space. I want to hurry up and get to the good space because I don't want to stay in the energy of negative for too long. I'm like, come on, can we just get Lord? All right.
It's a process. You gotta let it
go. It is a process, and the thing about
the salt, the ingredients, the peppers, the onions. You gotta simmer overnight. It's a crock pot. It's not a.
Yeah,
that's how the universe works.
No,
when it's done, it's done.
Yeah, you know, and it's just like we gotta just make sure that understand to allow ourselves to feel. We're like I was saying, like, when those things come up, we just gotta breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. Like, what I'm saying? Let it come up, let it go out.
Yeah.
And if that takes all day, let it be all day. And then when it's done, clap your hands with it and be like, all right, on to the next. And release those things without holding on to it. You feel me? Because I do feel like to a degree, just because you're in a negative space to a certain to a certain extent, like, doesn't mean that you're manifesting all this negative energy or you're manifesting all these things. You
Right.
feel me? There's also like there's rules to the universe. You know what I'm saying? Constantly on day in and day out, and you're like, okay, this is bad thing's gonna happen, that bad thing's gonna happen. That's good. You know what I'm saying? I can see why
I'm
you're
glad
bad
you
rules,
said that.
but we all have those low moments
Yeah.
I
of
know.
life.
I was going through mine just recently. I knew it wasn't nothing that I manifested around me because I've been doing it. It's just a different, it's a test, because what I asked for to level up to, I'm going through that period. It's that I was listening to a podcast the other day with, I don't know, Dr. B. Yeah, it was on Black Magic 369, but he was saying about the dragonflies, how it starts in the muddy waters and they really don't, it starts as just a plant, like a leaf, right? And it's eating things or it's getting eaten or eating. I didn't even say that right.
Yeah.
But when it emerges from that muddy water, then it'll be able to see the world. And, you go through those midst of those dark times and those moments and those triggers and those trials. But when you come out of that, yeah, it's like, wow, okay, I see that now.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just energy. I noticed that there's a difference between being in those little moments and also purging.
I know.
Yeah.
There are moments to where it's not necessarily anything that triggered you entirely, but you're just releasing a lot of stuck energy.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a Reiki session and you're in your Reiki session, all of a sudden you start bawling, crying when they get to certain chakras, right? It's not that you something like, it's just like you're releasing all of that stacked energy out of you.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's
a
just
good
like
thing. Beautiful.
it is. And it feels good. It's very refreshing.
Yes.
So
maybe not
like,
at first, not all the time.
Yeah.
It's ugly sometimes, the ugly cry, the unknown, asking these questions, and then you get back into your, like your momentum. You get out of that fear because now you have a level of awareness. Like I am, like, okay, I see what. No, I don't want to go down that road because I know what that road leads to. Let me come out of that. Let me just. Woosah. Let me just do the breath work. Let me just breathe. Let me just take a moment not to do anything and just flow along with the universe. You not have to go up the stream, but go to flow with the stream. and then it's a lot simpler. The process is a lot simpler. It's still unknown. You don't know where that stream is leading you to, but you're like, okay, I'm just going to.
You gotta trust.
I'm just gonna really trust. Because if not, then it could be hard. You're still gonna get there, but it could be a lot harder.
But we need those experiences, like we keep saying. It's like a rubber band. You got the rubber band right here. Pull it down, and then it catapults you up. That's why I look at like I'll sit there and I'll let myself bawl out crying for no fucking reason. From time to time, because I know those same moments are like because we gotta it's releasing and it feels good for me. Like from time to time, I know that once I get out of this space. So I'm gonna let myself feel every single thing when I cry and when I'm like in those like transform. I know it's a transformative moment. I'm gonna go deeper within myself during that time. Because when I come out, I'm much more aware of myself.
Yes.
As
a collective, I feel like we're all been going through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since this big on year started.
I'm like, we just Lord.
I'm like, come on, it's still intact. Put my lip gloss on.
It's a super. It's beautiful. I mean, it's necessary. It may not always feel good, but I know it's necessary and it's only for our benefit. So I'm with it.
Yeah.
I do that,
Even
which
like we were talking
I
about
don't know if
before.
it's a day.
That'd be a whole other podcast, though, because that's a good subject.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that will be the next one.
How to handle
I'm
the
here for it.
purge. How to handle the purging.
Oh, how do you handle purging?
Transition, purging,
Oh, beautiful.
the level up, whatever you want to call it, right?
I'm rolling up.
Yeah, you just roll with it. I roll with it, and I dive deeper in that water, in the depths of those emotions.
Yeah.
And sometimes you gotta like swim back to the top, get some breath, and swim back down. But I promise you, if you really use those moments as like a way to dive deeper into your shadow, oh man, that's what I do. I thrive in those areas because I know that I'm discovering more about myself. And I mean like thrive, I mean like I gain a lot of wisdom out of my tears. And I'm saying like I gain a lot of self-awareness through my tears and through my pain, through my struggles, and so I just feel like once we just detach from like stop trying to label the emotion and do this, that, and the third, just it changes the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're no longer afraid you're no longer afraid of the pain. It becomes a tool. You know what I mean? You just got to flow through and go through it, and not be afraid of it because we're so like afraid of feeling. Obviously, we have to have a degree of we have to have that emotional intelligence. But if we're talking about those of us who are on this journey and are aware of what's required of us, how to use the tools that we have. We didn't come down here with them just for no reason. We didn't come down here with emotions to we came to experience. It's a beautiful thing, pain or joy. Beauty in
one without the other. There is no joy without pain.
That's right.
Joy, in pain. Every time I hear joy and pain, I think about that song.
I know. Why did I think about that the same second you did? You did.
Sunshine and rain. Sunshine. Pump it up, baby. Is that a 90s song? I think that
it is.
Oh,
I think
let's go be at the party.
90s. Yeah, 90s.
Hey. I can't remember.
But Rob Bass, we got to do the remix.
Right. Yeah. Why not?
Lordy.
But yeah,
be a sunflower.
Sunflower always reminds me of Oshun.
Fun fact, guys, ladies, I was terrified. I think I might low key might still be. I don't know. Terrified of sunflowers most of my life because listen, because I understand. I would leave the house.
What?
Okay,
You got terrified now, are you?
And they face in one way. Okay, I come back home from. And they
they do turn to the sun. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
Following me.
Look away.
Oh God, that's funny. They were talking
I was terrified of them things. I'm okay, a little better now. But
I got some huge ones that grow way taller than me in my garden in the backyard. We'll do it again this year, but they all face, instead of facing towards the house like I want them to, they face towards the woods. That's where the sun. So I was like, okay, this is creepy. Then it started to turn a little bit. I was like, oh, yeah, but sunflowers do that. That's why they call sun.
I didn't do that. I didn't put the 2 and 2 together. Sunflowers.
They speak to you too. They talk. Well, all plants do, but you can actually hear with your physical ear if you really do quiet.
They were just trying to say hello.
Hello, is it me you're looking for? Is the sunlight in your eyes? You're
No, no.
alive, alive.
You done took off running.
All right, I'm done.
I used to love that song when I was a little kid. I hear it all the time. My aunts used to play that song over and over and over again.
You know, I think that's the.
Why did you have
I got the record. Where's the record?
You do?
I do. I don't know why I feel like
My
it's
dad gave me a whole box of records. Well, Prandell gave me a record player because I wanted a record player. I wanted that frequency of the record player.
Yeah.
Music. And he got me one last Christmas. You know, we don't celebrate Christmas. He still got it for me. And then my dad, he downsized, so he gave a lot of stuff away. I was surprised he gave me his records. My dad got a big record collection. So between me and my little brother, we got all the records. And I got the best box. I got the one with Michael Jackson, Rick James, Commodores.
Oh, nice.
So old school reggae, like reggae. Oh my god, so in love. I need to bring that out.
Old school reggae. Oh my god.
The old school reggae, like, not the dance hall reggae though.
Yeah.
Got some Bar Molly probably in there. I gotta go
man.
Awesome. Lordy.
You guys have any more questions?
Right.
I all of my head, I think. Let me double check real quick. I think we went through all of the ones that I had. But you know, I think we covered more than, you know, I even initially anticipated, you know, going over, you know, just how to stay, you know, you can go through the dating world, whatever, and on with your healing journey, you know, being mindful of your self-love, your self-worth, being mindful to be discerning and understanding triggers and how to use those mirrors, the people who you're interacting with, for your elevation. And you know, and I think that's solid advice for anybody. Like you said, you can't really give out specific advice because every situation is going to be different. You know, I tried to play devil advocate. I love doing that while people are talking. You know, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, you have those core things. You're being mindful. You're understanding your self-worth. This is the utmost biggest thing that we have said over and over during this entire conversation. And understanding that you are worthy. You are worth
Yes.
a lot. Don't take just anything. You know, don't, and what you accept, understand it's your choice.
I'm gonna get my rose quartz out and send
You
some
can get
love to everyone.
Yeah, and all the love. Send all the love. You can get that
chakra. Yes.
I want some.
I love it. It's so big. I love it.
Thank you.
I know I need one. I was about to order me one too. One of those sticks. The wands.
You're the one.
Rose. That's rose or clear?
This one? Rose.
Yeah. Rose. Okay, the big one.
That's rose.
It looks
I
like
have rose quartz.
rose quartz.
Ooh,
Mine's
love
a baby.
baby
This
one.
is rose quartz.
Awesome. I have one like that too. Did you get that from the subscription box? I had that subscription. What's it called? Mindful soap. Mind something. I don't know.
No, you need to get my subscription boxes. Mine's better.
You have a subscription box?
Yes.
My baby.
No hate, no shade.
I got this from you, Gia.
Oh, me? Who?
Yeah.
Oh, I sent it to you. I knew that. I was checking. That's the one I had.
Like I have some on my website, but I got this particular one from you. I have both of your guys' decks.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I want to know anyone, I don't care who you are, masculine, feminine, whatever you want to say, man, woman, whatever. Do not stay in a relationship if it is physically abusive, emotionally abusive, spiritually abusive. Did I say physical again? Or even financially abusive.
Well,
people forget about that.
I know that's a thing, you know.
Many people know that's by financial abuse. Like there's a lot of people who may not know how to identify what is financial abuse, and I think that's where the thing is.
Okay, well, the energy is not reciprocated. You're giving out more than you're supposed to be. All right, you started your life away. You co-signing, you know, tax season. I know it's here, and you know, a lot of people looking for shelters and shit.
I think that
A free meal and a cat.
Oh my God.
the energy. Oh, you know what? I think that,
Did I break it down
financial
far enough?
abuse could be like, how like some like people like, no, you can't. I don't want you to work, but but then you like to a point to where you are solely reliant on this person, and they like use that as a
I was just watching and waiting to exhale. I just cut you out, but yeah.
oh
Yeah.
god, that's a good
Babe was
one.
like, really? You watching Wait Too? I was like, cause song came on Facebook and Whitney Houston. I wanted to see it. I was like, come on, man. He was like, nah, I'll leave it out. I was all singing the songs and shit, crying and happy like I was when I first saw the movie. It was like,
Mhm.
it was incredible. But yeah, Angela Bassett. I give you 11 years. I was like, damn.
Movie was
That was
it was
financially abusive.
yeah.
He didn't make her because she had a choice, but she gave up her, she had a master's, and
By
what
the
she
time
said,
she realized what was going on, it was too late.
when he get on, he leave you last for get down, baby. But that's another form of financial abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that the biggest thing is just using relationships as a way to discover yourself, and also not entirely. You want to again balance. You know what I'm saying? Because some people take it and then they run with them like, oh, like we still need it even. It needs to be
Right.
even. Like, what I'm saying? Like please don't like add the balance, please.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I just feel like
Disclaimer.
yeah, please, a fat disclaimer. I should put it in capitals in the comments. But just making sure that you're open and receptive to yourself before you expect somebody to be open and receptive to you. Know thyself before you expect somebody to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like we be trying to learn these people in and out. Like the people that we date, we have no clue of who we are. We want people to like us, and we don't even like ourselves.
Listen, for real.
You want somebody to love you till death do you part, but you can't even stand a day alone with yourself.
Right.
How people like being by themselves. I like being in my own space.
I do too.
I
Even
like
in being in a
myself.
relationship, they know. He's like, oh, you need your time. Yes.
No, for real. I love my solitude.
That's why I have my
I love that
office,
too.
I
I love love. But I like being by
Even away
myself.
from the children, away from mom. I'm like, I need the woo side. I can get
That
overstimulated really fast. As a spiritualist, you know that too. That's someone that's highly intuitive. And when you work on yourself more, you're even more sensitive. You really are.
Yeah.
You can feel everything. So I know y'all know how it feels, So I get overstimulated. I'll come out of my character. I'll start to get really agitated, angry, frustrated. I don't like to get there. So I just
throwing over tables. No, I'm just kidding.
Baby, like either that, you overstimulate, or you just what do you call it? Hangry. I'm hungry.
Hangry, yeah.
Hangry. That's what he called it. You getting hangry.
Getting angry.
Not yourself when you're hungry.
I don't
So
think
they food. Right. I gotta find new comfort food. It used to be chicken. Now I'm trying this vegan thing. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, that's good. I'm fat. I started a fast today.
Yeah.
Because I did get a little crazy like the last couple of weeks with a little wild, but I realized like even with that being said, it's just like I'm realizing like okay, I cannot do that to myself because it really like it's like it really messed with my energy, and I don't eat normally on like I don't eat like hello. I'm not like one of those people who do it intentionally. I just eat when I feel that or like I'll put something in my body when I feel
intuitive eater, right?
Intuitively, exactly.
Oh, I take that back. I'm not turning vegan. I don't think I'm gonna go that far. If I do, I'd be a vegetarian. But I do eat, certain things I know is not vegan. So, entirely, I did cheat. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I had Wingstop. But it was 3 weeks I haven't ate any meat at all. And then yesterday I felt the difference, but I didn't really feel the difference. I made a post earlier today. I was like, it's really being mindful what you eat, eating intuitively, knowing when not to eat certain things and when to eat certain things. I know it's the levels in my energy, especially me being a reader and stuff like that. I have to really take care of myself energetically, and it starts what you put in your mouth. So,
Yeah.
I went and got some mushroom coffee today, so I'm gonna try that to clean the gut.
Oh yeah.
Good
Um,
Brandon, yes.
yeah,
Well,
I put
Brandon,
a whole lot of mushrooms so I can fry that instead of
I have
chicken.
this one with the
Oh
I have them sitting right next to me. It's, the
wow!
mushroom.
but you don't drink coffee.
Yes. Oh, I gotta try that kind.
This
I
is
knew.
tea.
It's
I
a
knew.
tea. Yeah, they had tea there at the health food
Mushroom
store. I was like,
tea.
well, I know the coffee. I'm gonna try the coffee from. I'm gonna come back to tea.
Oh, I've never
I don't
mushroom
mind trying
coffee.
Yeah, I've drank mushroom. It's good.
I don't drink
Good.
coffee because I'm already like a hyper person.
But this is
But like
mushroom.
that,
Yeah, I
it's
need
just
the
like
coffee.
nah, like that's like crackhead status for me.
That's
Oh my
me.
goodness.
But you should see me around when I'm creating the house. I'm like,
Right? It
got my
keeps
music
you
and
going.
shit.
I try to stay away from caffeine. I'm like, if I like, it just makes me feel like a knack. Like I'm just like, it's just I already have enough energy. I just have to direct it properly.
Right. Yeah.
With like, I've tried it. I like the from time to time I do
There's
like
decaf,
those Starbucks
you know,
things.
that. There's decaf, you know,
Hmm?
exists. Decaf exists.
It's
Yo,
like a lot
yeah.
of
Decaf.
effects.
You said
It's like a lot. It makes me like, you know what? I started tripping out once I realized that there was caffeine in matcha.
You did. Oh, okay.
I
I
love
was like, oh no,
matcha.
I feel
Every time I go to
like no
Starbucks, I
wonder
get a
I feel so
matcha
happy
latte.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Maybe it's it. I gotta.
We
Oh,
went
you know what?
on subject. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. In
The
like
relationship we have with our
2012, in like 2013 or like 14, I think it's because I had one time. It was just one time. I had those 5-hour energies,
oh,
and I drank it all while I was at work in a call center.
Oh shit. I did that
I
while
could.
driving. It helps, but no, not at work.
No, I thought I was gonna explode.
oh
I was
no.
like, yo, I gotta go home. Like, this is not.
Man, I would do that off of back in the day. I
downhill.
would do that when I used to drink soda. I would do that off. Well, I can't say you, so I just had a Coke today. I be telling myself. I cheated today. I had a Coke. Yes, I did. But anyway, when I used to drink it regularly, I had a drink Mountain Dew. Oh my God, that shit had me bouncing all over.
Oh my God.
I was working third shift. And I was over there like, yeah, I got this. But the crash was just as bad, dude.
I know. I used to love Mountain Dew. That was my favorite drink. Ask me what my favorite drink was. Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
It was the blast, like especially from
It
Taco Bell.
do give you a buzz.
The blast.
I don't know what they put in that motherfucker. Excuse my language.
Terrible. Yeah, but I think you should try the mushroom coffee. I think because I don't think it has. Does it have caffeine in it? Not really.
Not mine. It's decaf.
So try it. You might like it.
You know what? Just the fact that you told. Well, you know what? It says coffee.
Do it.
It says coffee.
They got one for focus, and I got the one for
they do?
immune system.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna go try some. I think I'll go get some from Pure Pressure.
Yes.
Where did they have it? Like at what store?
I got it from my local health food store.
Whole store. Oh, whole store. Yeah, because I usually. Do you guys have Sprouts?
I haven't had it in a while. I've had it. My dad used to cook it. That's from a long time.
No, like the store.
Oh,
We don't have Sprouts
the
over here. We
store.
have
I'll think of Sprouts like a little.
Sprouts.
Yeah, we do. We have one.
Okay.
We have Fresh Market and Sprouts. We don't have a Whole Foods. I mean, the closest one is in Raleigh. This was like an hour from me.
Whole Foods. Okay.
I know. I miss Whole Foods.
That's where I get my tea from.
Yeah, Whole Foods.
Okay.
So maybe they'll probably have. I'm sure that they have everything there.
Yeah.
I'll try some and then give y'all a review.
You don't have like where it's like a mom and pop like health food store?
Oh, what is it?
Like a mom and pop type of health food store?
I don't think so.
No? You gotta Google it.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
looking.
look.
Put natural food store or a health food store. Yeah.
We have Whole Foods.
Well, yeah, that's a bigger like a chain, but like a little mom and pop.
The little local
Oh,
small
little
one.
Yeah.
oh,
That's what I went to today. I
oh,
I'll look
really?
found
and I'm gonna look and
like a
see.
Diamond in the Rough. I think it's like the only one near me.
I have to look. I usually I just go to Sprouts, and even with Sprouts, there's certain things that are just like, why is it here? This is not organic.
I know,
This-
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get pissed off when I see a watermelon in there and it's seedless.
It's
Yeah,
seamless.
really. I was
Like, what
looking for
is?
some grapes with seed in. It's all seedless.
Yeah, it's like the buffoonery.
Yeah.
It's
Buffoonery.
the buffoonery.
Buffoonery for me.
They make it
Like,
look
you
good,
didn't
right?
bamboozle us off, but you know. But yeah, but on the dating aspect, just date in what you say earlier. That was good. That's a good way to
like
date in your
your tax
vibration,
bracket, they in your frequency bracket.
in your
Yeah.
frequency bracket. I'm definitely chopping that up and using that as a reel.
Yeah, use it. Everybody use that hashtag. Yeah.
Gonna repurpose it, and
Yes. I'm giving
that's a
it out
good
for
one.
free. Yeah.
Well, that way none of us waste our time. I mean, none of us. I mean, it's never a waste of time. It's either gonna help you evolve,
No, it's
inspire
never.
you to evolve, or
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I almost went there. No, it's not a waste of time. All right, it's getting late.
I know
We're
y'all,
gonna
you
have
guys.
one of those shows like after midnight.
You should. You said we should.
Yeah, on the spiritual
I
side, talk
know.
about it.
And we would have to dim the lights down. We would have to have some music.
Yes,
We
let's
should
talk
do
that
it.
talk after midnight.
Well,
I did
I'm
that
gonna
one
hit you.
time and the live was lit. I think I did what was that? It was something about like every zodiac sign, how they are like sexually. Like I think I was asking questions and said how different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was
You guys,
playing Tyrese
we
and
have
the
a
zodiac. Zodiac sign.
We
Yeah,
have
it
a
was after
Patreon
dark.
that we're working on.
I think that
So
would be
with
cool.
that Patreon, we'll have more exclusive content. We'll do topics like those.
We'll
You know what I'm
probably
saying?
start on Patreon.
Hey, I
So
come see
I'm
them.
gonna-
I'll be on
I'll
there if you want.
afterwards,
Yeah.
and we can absolutely do that. I'm with it.
Legit. Legit.
I even have my do I have that card still? Hold on. Let me show y'all. Where is it at? Oh man.
Nice.
I do no, I have some tarot cards. It's
I mean, water. This is,
what is it called? The sex tarot?
oh, do you?
Hot and I don't know what I did with it, but yeah. It's raunchy.
Ooh, okay, I got an idea. I'm gonna hit y'all up.
Okay. Awesome.
my spidey
It's
senses.
hidden.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh man, this is gonna be fun. So,
What's your feedback? What do they think? I can't see any comments. So somebody let us know. What do you think about that?
let's see.
Hey, Randall, peace and love and light, speaking nothing but the truth.
Hold on, y'all.
Queen 7 look for oh, that was earlier, looking forward to this.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys all kind of rolled out of here for a second.
Oh, you still here, boo. Yeah.
I was like, I'm probably looking over here like that's what was going on, y'all. If you see me looking clueless for a second, it's probably because my internet was being weird.
No, we still here.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you guys said.
Uh,
You know what you guys said after it went. It just you guys disappeared. So if you guys said something in the midst of me looking like I didn't know. I didn't hear.
Not really. This was a good conversation. I really enjoyed it, and I think I'm looking forward to more raw conversations with you ladies.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure with you goddesses.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. It was good. I think that it was very informative. I learned some new slang today.
Y'all know me.
Truthfully, watch. I'm going to use it.
All right. What did you say again? Something about, I don't remember. I remember
Dating.
Netflix chill.
Oh,
What was the first one? What was the first one?
The dating in your frequency
The one
bracket.
no, not that. The
Dating.
one underneath Netflix and chill. What was that?
Oh, the sneaky links and then Netflix and chill. Right.
You heard alert.
The sneak.
Don't let it be Tubu. Whatever the other new one
Yeah.
is. I can add that before the Netflix because the Netflix is little.
Like there's levels to this. Yeah.
It's levels to this.
There's levels. Like none of those levels are. I mean,
Terrible.
This is terrible.
it's gotta be.
I don't. 2024 is a lot has changed.
Before we exit, like, what is your perspective on the Netflix and chills?
My Netflix and chill back in the day. My dating. I'm old. And I'm gonna say that. I take that back in the verse. But I was born in '79, so like we had the phone. Like I remember phone sex. Like no one has phone sex.
No.
Great at it.
You had your own
just talking to you tired, nah, you're tired. You fall asleep with the phone, and then y'all both fall asleep together, like deep conversations or provocations with each other. You really get to know each other. Now, I'm glad that I'm in a relationship I'm in now, but before then, the dating scene.
Yeah,
I put my head down. I feel for it.
It is cold out here in the streets.
And know that you're worthy.
I talk from the same time, Cece. Ain't no what y'all got going on now. I don't understand. I come from sitting on the phone, falling asleep. Just like she said, same way.
Brenda, if you on here, I'm so grateful for you. I love you.
Netflix and chill. What? Know what that means?
Mm-hmm. I'm just like,
I ain't going to nobody's house.
Like, man, look, I'm out here just keeping I'm like the grandmother out in the house looking out the window right now. I look like there's a whole
like 227. Y'all probably for that.
I'm just, but
the old lady.
There's a lot of things.
It's real out here in these streets. Man.
But I mean,
I can just tell by the posts. That's how I see it. I'm like, oh my god, that's how you think. Yeah, and it's just back and forth. The men and the women versus the men and the thinking. Oh my god.
And you wonder why we're all a lot of whack. Not that I'm not saying that in a way that like I'm not better than anybody else. I got my BS too. You feel me? But it's just like the way that the world is now. It's just like there's so many games that are being played that it makes it hard for people to let their guard down and just be. Mm-hmm. So you got people that could probably be a really good match, but they're so caught up in their ego and this, that, and the third. They miss an opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is swapping body fluids, and there's no.
That's nasty.
My soul night at when you said that, I was like,
turn off the damn Netflix and talk to me.
Nobody got time for that.
Let me get two of them. Hold on, let me get the big one out. Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
I think that's the biggest crystal I've seen. Like, I should say the longest crystal I've seen somebody actually have, other than those ones. Like,
mine. This is mine.
Right here in front of me. That's my little area. Ooh, how pretty. Like, he's so cute. He's so cute.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't know where you got
this one holds my sage. A sage holder with it.
I remember you made that. Actually, that's extremely creative.
Thank you. I call her. That's the Aunt Julie. I named after my aunt.
Aunt Julie.
Yeah, the Julie. I call it Julie.
Love
Oh
it.
man, that's funny.
And you can just really easily detach it from that, put it on the stage. But yeah, when you said bodily fuel, I was like, let me pick up this.
No, please, Lord, that's why I should have been off of this thing 45 minutes ago. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just hey, it's just the way the world is.
I know I was watching Wait to Exhale last night. You remember, you raggedy bitch. That's all I saw in my head when you said that. Like, exchanging bodily fuel with somebody like that.
Oh yeah,
You raggedy. Every time I see that meme now, I'm only gonna laugh more.
Boy. In a hot minute.
just remind me of Janet Jackson.
No, I don't think I'm in the right. I think you have to be in the right mindset to watch.
Yeah, you do. You do.
You're in the wrong mindset. You set somebody else on fire. No, I'm a.
Stop, for real.
Yeah,
for real. For real.
I know that's right.
Cause I'm not gonna cry, no, not this time. Cause you're not worth my tears.
Oh man.
I ain't say I have to sing. I had many talents. I ain't say sing one of them.
Just be careful while dating, because there's sharks in the water.
For real.
So just make sure you have your protective gear on. No, I'm just kidding. Don't take that. I'm just kidding.
Right,
But just like I take the first advice I gave.
Like you said, Grandma, look how you did this roll this time. And you gave the advice. She's like, oh, yes, darling. Yes, baby.
You see it. Like, let me like not let's not go left.
Oh,
that was cute. Sweet baby, let me tell you.
Yes, sweet baby. Yeah.
Sweet baby.
You guys, this was a lovely conversation. Definitely needed. I think that we touched on some things that obviously these are our perspective. Y'all take it
right.
Resonates and what doesn't. If it don't apply to you, let it fly. Chew the meat and spit the bone.
I like that. What do you think chew the meat and spit the bone?
From church.
You okay?
But y'all, thank you for tapping in with us. We really appreciate it. We will be back next week with another raw conversation. This will be more on the masculine edition, the divine masculine edition. So you guys tap in with us. Make sure you guys
make sure y'all tap in. I'm gonna tap in.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Peace and blessings and love to all. We shall see y'all next time on Raw Conversation.
Bye.